The Foschini Group was founded by George Rosenthal in 1924 and consists of 14 trading brands, sells fashion, jewellery, accessories, cosmetics, cell phones, homeware and more. It trades on a price to earnings ratio of 12.3, a dividend yield of 4% and has a market cap of 24 billion rand. The second half of the year was tough for Foschini. They mentioned that they had seen their consumer coming under pressure.
Yeah, but they're plodding along. They're motoring along. They're remaining on the front foot. Doug Murray, also a very talented CEO, been there a while, runs a good shop. They've done bolt-on acquisitions. They bought Fabiani, which was a sort of high-end men's retailer in the top malls. So that's kind of given them some fresh lease on life. So I don't see any problems for them. I just think at the moment, the earnings growth has been a little bit muted. There's a credit element in there because remember they own that business called RCS, which has got quite a big book and provides retail credit for other players, and
they said in their results that in November, December, they saw discretionary spend coming under pressure. Items like jewellery and cell phones were certainly not having the traction that they had in the prior months.
That's right. And look, bear in mind, as you said in the preamble there, they've got an awful lot of strings to the bow here. They've got many operations within the greater Foschini Group, so they would be picking up a lot of that kind of intelligence in there. But yeah, look, I mean, you can see on the share price movement, very similar to Foschini, to Truworths rather, should I say. And again,
don't worry, you forgot his name a moment ago.
No,
you
right,
can get the stocks
premature senility, yeah. But it's the fact that, again, they're very much in that credit market. And as a result, I think they're taking a beating on sentiment more than anything else.
You should take advantage of this. I mean, we made the call the other way around in the Hot Stocks portfolio where you put Truworths, Foschini. You pointed out that Daniel Isaacs chose Truworths. But looking at the share price graph here,
but we owned Foschini as well, and we owned it last year, in the second half of last year, and it sort of bounced around, neither here nor there. I just think it's going to be a while before all of these stocks have got like 40, 50, 60% of their shareholders are foreign-based institutional investors, which makes sense because that's what the kind of stock they liked the look of. They didn't want anything that had anything to do with government intervention. They wanted stuff that was retail-oriented, that had an African growth story, that had experience, that had a credit element. But now they've kind of gone off the boil a little bit, and it's going to take a while for the replacement investors to kick in. So I don't think this one is quite as hot as the others, although I like the overall story as it goes.
How does their overall Africa strategy compare with the others?
It's not as clear, it's not as transparent as the others, and certainly not as clear as Mr. Price, for example, but it is there.
Sounds like they need a better investor relations officer. If it's not as clear, that's usually a lack of communication.
Well, look, Foschini, and I'm not having a go at them here. I mean, this is a great company, and it's a very well-run company. But it's perhaps, in the time that I've looked at them, the past 30-odd years, it's perhaps never been the best communicator around.
What I would say, though, in their favour, since we're knocking off points here, is I like the exposure to the high-end sports apparel, which is Sports Scene and Total Sports, both of which are big stores in all the malls, and all that Adidas and Nike stuff and Puma and all those other brands selling like hotcakes. Team apparel, because everybody wants to wear Kaiser Chiefs shirt to a Friday night party these days. So all of that kind of stuff is great margin business.
Are we going with hot or not on Foschini? Chris Gilmore.
I like this because it's cheap, and as far as its rating in the market. So from that aspect, I think it's a hot stock.
Hot or not, Paul Turan?
Hot for me too.